My 25M friend, 23F, might have tried to trick me into being with her and I need advice. I had some friends over the other night for a get-together. We were all drinking. One of them, who I'll call Danny, started to get a little tipsy and asked if she could just spend the night here in a guest room or something so she didn't have to drive home. I told her I was fine with that, but if she wanted to go home instead, I'm sure I could give her a ride in a few hours when I was completely sober, or one of our other friends could do it too. But she refused and said she would just prefer to stay here. So I said okay. The night goes on. Other friends offer her rides home, but she keeps refusing them. Eventually all of them leave and Danny and I move to my living room to watch some TV and wind down for the night. This was my idea so I could keep an eye on her while she sobers up enough for me to be comfortable letting her sleep. I was worried she would suffocate or something. She was laying on the couch next to me when suddenly she sits bolt upright and pukes down her entire front and onto the couch. I jump up right away and grab some towels. I start cleaning it up and asking if Shush is okay. Shush is crying and apologizing profusely, but I keep assuring her that it's okay. It was an accident. After I get it mostly cleaned up, I ask her again if she wants to go home. She says no again. I ask if Shush is sure and she says no. So I ask her if she wants a shower to get the puke off and she says yes. Shush is still a little woozy, but I think Shush is okay enough for this. I show her to the shower and tell her I'll go get some of my clothes she can wear. I do that and come back. I knock on the door and ask if I can just pop in and put the clothes on the counter and grab her clothes to put in the wash. She says sure. So I angle my head away from the shower and come in, place the new clothes and take the old ones to the washing machine. I get that all set and come back and knock again and ask if Shush is doing okay. She says she fell down a little and puked up a bit more. I ask if she wants help and she says yes. So I come in and grab a towel and pass it through the curtain and tell her to cover up. She takes it and thanks me. I open the curtain and put my arms out for her to grab to stand up and she does, but the towel slips off of her, but I'm more worried about her being okay right now, so I just help her over to this little bench thing I have in my bathroom and sit her down, hand her another towel and tell her to wait here. I'm going to try to find some help. She looks confused but says okay. I step out of the room and call some of my female friends to try to help me here, but none of them pick up except one who just answered the call but didn't say anything for a minute, so I hung up. I go back into the bathroom and tell her nobody picked up. I ask her if she wants to go home. She says no. I ask her if she wants to go to a hospital. No. You're sure you want to stay here? Yes. So I ask her if Shush is okay to stand up. She says yes, but she wobbles a little standing. So I tell her I'm going to turn around while she gets dressed. If she feels like Shush is falling, grab my arm or something. She says okay. I turn around and she gets dressed with no issues. So I bring her to my guest room and get her comfortable. I ask if Shush is feeling okay. If I should sit with her a while to make sure Shush is okay. She says she feels mostly fine now. Shush is okay. So I say okay and go to bed myself. It's almost 5 a.m. now. Wake up at 11 and go check on her. Shush is still asleep, but Shush is definitely breathing and no puke around her. So I run to a coffee shop and get some coffee and food, leave some on the nightstand next to her and go do some work. An hour or so passes and she comes out of her room and thanks me for letting her stay the night and apologizes for all the trouble she caused me. I assure her it's all right and we talk for a little while and she leaves. A few hours later I get a call from one of the female friends I tried to call for help and she asks me how it went, and I tell her the whole story. She says, so you two didn't hook up? And I respond, no. Why the fuck would we? She was drunk and covered in puke, and the friend tells me that Danny has had a crush on me for about a year now and told the friend and two others that she was going to try to make a move on me last night. I'm kinda lost for a minute and tell her I'll call her back later. I call one of the other friends she mentioned and ask her and she confirms it. Then I wrote this post. I need help. I'm utterly lost on how to handle this. I don't know if this whole thing was some kind of play on Danny's part to try to get with me, or if the friends are lying. Or how to approach Danny about any of this or what to do at all. So any help or advice you can offer will be immensely appreciated. Too long did not read. My friend stayed with me after a get-together. I took care of her, but my other friend told me she wanted to make a move on me and I'm worried it was all a trick now. Edit. I made this post when I was panicking because the friend telling me she had a crush on me and planned to make a move made me think back and go over every detail of the night and worry that I did something wrong or she had tricked me somehow. But after calming down and seeing a lot of comments saying what probably happened was that she did plan to make a move but then she got sick and those plans went out the window, I've realized that's most likely what happened. I have anxiety and my mind likes to make mountains out of molehills. I'm going to keep the post up though in case any other advice comes my way. You guys are really nice and made me feel genuinely better after only a couple hours. I'll probably call Danny tomorrow and ask her to get a cup of coffee with me and talk about all this. I do think Shush is cute and as long as she doesn't feel too awkward now. I think I'd like to take her up on that move she wanted to make. Maybe she planned on doing a move on you, and as you said she has had a crush on you, it's possible that she felt very anxious and drank too much and ended up embarrassing herself. You sound very nervous in the way you described things went. If you like her, you should tell her and talk this with humor and not much seriousness. If you don't like her, also treat it with humor but make sure she doesn't confuses your kindness with something else. She was so drunk she was puking on herself, so take the whole making a move thing out of the equation. This is so wholesome and you are an amazing friend. I can see why she has a huge crush on you. Thank you for being kind and caring and staying up to take care of her. I hope you have a nice coffee date. Hot beverage smiling face. Sheesh, I think I understand your anxiety about this situation. I think your best bet is to be nice to Danny. Maybe say you'll pick her up while you're doing a coffee run in a friendly, "Hey, how you doing, you were so fucked up lol" kind of way. Good relations will smooth this over. It seems like you've received some good replies already. So I'll just add in that if I was super drunk and pukey, I'd want a friend like you by my side. She has a crush, she planned on making a move, she needed some liquid courage and had too much. It's no harm no foul. She didn't try to trick you. This happens when people drink a lot. Sometimes they drink too much. You did the right thing and were a good friend to her and you were right not to try and hook up with her or anything since she was that drunk. The only maybe bad thing she did was pretend she just wanted to stay the night there and refuse rides. But even then you said it was fine for her to stay there, so she did. If you didn't want her to stay you should have told her that. Maybe some other time you and her can go on a date or do something else the right way, but only if you're interested. If I had $1 for everything I got too drunk. You seem like a sweet caring person. My guess is she drank too much trying to loosen up to make a move on you. Overdid it on the Dutch courage. Ended up in the now mortifying situation of having vomited all over the cute boy she likes house. Nightmare, she thinks she blew it. And now everyone knows, worse again. You did nothing wrong, you were sweet and considerate. Maybe. If you don't like her romantically, don't talk about it because not only will she have vommed everywhere, she'll feel super unattractive and vulnerable. This is an adorable story lol. I hope it works out for you too. Depends on if you like her. If you don't, just be honest. And if you do, go for it. Just don't hold everything over her head, Yano. Man, I bet she's embarrassed lol. Drinking is for sinners. Why would you let this mess of a person into your life? You've seen what she's capable of. Any normal person would just initiate a talk instead of these theatrics and a mock get-together. Where is the trick would be my question, and are you really 25? Honestly, I think you should call her and just check up on her. Then invite her over when you guys are sober and don't get drunk. I think you both like each other and she was super nervous and drank more than she should have to calm those nerves. Getting with her was out of the question. If they are puking and can barely stand up, any sexual activity would have been rape. Her friends have to realize that. It's possible that she initially wanted to say or do something, but that very clearly went out the window when she got blackout drunk. Are you mad at her for having a crush or something? I'm not sure why you think her checks notes puking all over herself, not being able to walk, and needing help to stand up was part of the seduction. Or why you'd need to call her friends about this rather than discuss it with her directly. How on earth could it have been a trick if she was puking her guts up? Typically the seduction happens before one is drunk, and she very clearly made 0 moves on you. What did she trick you out of or into? Cleaning up her sick? Or poor girl. She def has a thing for you, tried to make it happen, was nervous and drank too much. She's probably embarrassed as hell RN. Balls in your court, are you interested in her? I'll say, she will probably be too mortified to ever make a move on you now. I would disappear off the face of the earth if I acted like that, accidentally, in front of my crush. Try to figure out your feelings for her, and definitely try to ease her embarrassment if you can. You have an impressive supply of towels. She probably drank too much to be brave enough to make her move lol. Cute. And you are sweet for being so kind and patient with someone puking all over your place. I don't see what your friends would gain from lying about Danny planning a move, so I'd say that was the likely scenario she had in mind. Obviously and unfortunately it went sideways when the Vomit Express pulled into the station. So now you know she's into you. 2 years no less. You just have to decide if you could be into her. Could be a very Merry Christmas. Either way, be flattered. And kudos on the kindness. I think she was nervous to talk to you about her feelings, drank for liquid courage and overdid it. She might have wanted to stay while she was super drunk because of how comfortable she feels with you, but it's important to note that she didn't actually make any moves. You should just talk to her. Ask her how she's feeling, and reassure her that you were the perfect gentleman, and let her know overdrinking happens to everyone and not to be embarrassed. You can segue into how one of your mutual friends finally got back to you in the morning, and what you talked about. Before you have that discussion though, you need to have your answer of whether or not you feel the same way and are willing to try something. If you don't feel the same though, be gentle with her. Good luck. Yeah, she wanted to but got too drunk. It wasn't a trick. She was hoping to hook up with you, but when she got sick and unable to function properly. She never even tried because she was not only a little drunk but also reeling from the puking. If she had been able to keep her GI tract from hitting the fast rewind button, she was going to put moves on you. You would have seen that's what she was doing, and you would have made a call right then and there. Not trying to be mean, but what would the trick even be here? She definitely didn't fake getting that drunk and puking. I agree with others that she wanted to talk to you after drinking but drank too much and that kinda ruined that plan. Are you interested in this girl? Because it seems like she went a long way to stay at your place. She's probably embarrassed because puking all over somebody's house is really not sexy, and she probably thinks she's ruined her chances with you. If you can look past the puke, give her a call, see how she's doing and ask her if she'd like to try hanging out sober. That's so funny and goes so well with the "men don't get hints" cliché. This girl got drunk and ended puking everywhere, and later you're like, wait, maybe she was making a move. I love it. Anyways, you handled it like a champ. Now you just have to figure out if you like her too or not.